Meghan Markle's products from her brand as ever.
Enjoy from Megan! Oh my gosh!
She wrote that like.
Look at that! Can you guys see it? Enjoy from Megan as ever. Tommy, I know you're nice. You don't like to make fun of people. How dumb is that name?
It is profoundly mediocre. Like I very much suspected, the premium you are paying for these products, which I feel like are overpriced, is simply because Meghan is a duchess.
So Meghan Markle's jam, preserves, spread, sauce, whatever you want to call it, her fruit in a jar has hit the market. It has made it to consumers, finally.
Hawking her marmalade, and her friend Oprah just put it on her most favorite things, Maureen. Oprah loves the marmalade so much. It's a favorite of hers.
So Meghan put out a handful of products back up on her website, and I took a look at the site several hours later.
So Meghan Markle hard launched her lifestyle brand as ever with a line of artisanal foodstuffs that sold out in under an hour. But we got our hands on the raspberry spread. So here's another red raspberry jam from Stonewall Kitchen. And then from Wegmans, we have red raspberry preserves. Let's see how they all line up.
Once you get a proper jam, you get like Matin de Pyrenees, you get a proper jam up against this as ever, and I'm just going to show you what the difference looks like, all right? Look at this. It's like, honestly, it's like someone threw up some ketchup. It's absolutely disgusting, to be really honest with you. Now compare that to the beautiful jellied texture of a real jam. Look at those lovely bits of fruit.
I feel like Meghan Markle saw Link Lauren and my address on the shipping and probably put rat poison in the food.
Oh my gosh, I work so hard, and I appreciate what hard work looks like. I like working hard.
I get that she's really proud of her spindly cursive, but this just doesn't look good. As many of you pointed out, the E being lowercase just looks so insane on a label. It should be both capitalized because that is how brands and names and proper nouns work. This does look super B-team.
Some of the packaging I feel like is profoundly cheap. There's one in particular thing that I'm like, wow, she really missed out on not doing this, because even the cheap stuff I have downstairs also has this branding trait, but Meghan went the cheap route.
Sussex sprinkles.
Sussex sprinkles.
I am so excited because I have been looking forward to receiving Sussex sprinkles.
Every celebrity rebrand starts with an idea. Meghan Markle was adamant that it would be hers. This was more than just a side project to her. In order to demonstrate to the world that she could overcome the turmoil, the interviews, and the never-ending headlines, she underwent a metamorphosis, a reset, and a refined lifestyle empire. She pictured the delicate beige containers in sophisticated kitchens. People are proudly showcasing her creations, like tiny bits of luxury, and poetic comments are being shared online. Her desire to be her second act persisted, the act in which she demonstrated that she didn't require the palace, crown, or the royal apparatus. She could create something elegant, sophisticated, and high-end on her own. The dream seemed real for a brief while. The trailers have a modern appearance. The branding seems deliberate. Exclusivity was shown by the high prices. A woman entering a new, higher phase of her life was suggested by the launch photographs, which were expertly lit and carefully chosen. But as soon as the boxes started showing up at people's houses, that polished fantasy fell apart because a brand's marketing doesn't reveal its true nature. Customers' hands contain it. Additionally, customers did not find luxury when they opened those boxes. They discovered perplexity. Customers anticipated sophistication. They anticipated fine craftsmanship. They anticipated a first-rate encounter. However, many opened a box that appeared hurried rather than one with elegant packaging, thin paper for tissues, non-straight labels, bars that seemed unremarkable. In person, the beige style that appeared gentle and calming online felt lifeless and bland. The minimalism wasn't endearing. It wasn't sophisticated simplicity. It wasn't high-end. It appeared incomplete. When several customers opened the spread jars, they saw right away that the texture wasn't what they had anticipated. Others discovered that the cookie mix needed additives they anticipated. Strong-smelling tea tasted unexpectedly weak, almost as if the aroma outweighed the recipe.
It's just confusing because you told me that over text. We're gonna try this, and I was like, what?
You're trying Megan's as if.
Okay. No. I literally feel my throat closing. Oh my god. Orange marmalade tastes like crap.
Meghan's. Oh. Bad. That's bad. Oh my gosh, I don't know if it's because I drank them both like close together, but oh, does that like bombard you with like, like peppermint? Oh, that's not good. That's really not good. It's not good. I feel like I'm drinking toothpaste.
So, oh my gosh, I worked so hard and
It's Sussex sprinkles.
Sussex
I
sprinkles.
am so excited because I have been looking forward to receiving Sussex sprinkles. It's gonna taste like potpourri.
Yes.
The rosé sold out also in less than an hour.
44 minutes. I was shocked.
Okay, let's try them all. Who cares? I'm gonna dip it in there. I'm gonna give it another real taste, okay? Oh God. No, I don't like it. It tastes fake.
It tastes bad. It tastes like a cheap.
When you sell out that quickly, it's a double-edged sword because it's an incredible thing to happen for any small business and any startup. And at the same time, you don't get the same metrics and learnings about which SKUs and products are the most coveted because it's all gone immediately.
It's the whole thing. I mean, she goes from one blunder to the next, but yeah, she does. She thinks everybody's stupid. I mean, it is a marketing ploy that I believe even the Kardashians have used in the past.
Additionally, the ornamental flowers that were supposed to be Meghan's humorous signature touch looked dreary, brittle, and dried. Customers didn't perceive artwork or romance. Something more akin to potpourri was thrown into a jar. The illusion began to fracture and eventually collapsed, because people were unable to ignore anything that seemed strange once they were aware of it. Meghan's team initially dismissed the returns as typical, or a few refunds for every launch, but soon the numbers began to rise more quickly than anyone had anticipated. After that, they spiraled, doubled, then tripled. Refund demands flooded the customer care mailbox. Furthermore, the loudness wasn't the most startling aspect, it's the cause. Customers who hadn't even opened the merchandise were returning a lot of items. Perfect tissue paper, intact packaging, and sealed jars. This indicated that consumers were returning the goods based only on their initial impressions, and that is disastrous for a high-end brand. However, the returns went beyond impressions. Unsealed jars were reported by a few customers. Spreads that were oddly thin or runny were returned by others. In some cases, the labels were affixed so unevenly that the jars seemed to be factory seconds. And among Meghan's crew, one item, which came to represent the whole mess, caused the greatest shame. A candle without a wick. A candle that was unlit. That was not going to work. There was no way to defend that. Meghan froze as soon as she learned about it. It wasn't a troll, it wasn't rumors, this was actual. It wasn't just one candle either. The identical problem was experienced by other buyers. A wickless candle revealed more than just an error. It revealed a brand that wasn't prepared for the attention it required. Meghan's team conducted a thorough internal review once the return numbers reached a critical point, something they anticipated they would never have to do so early in the launch. And the picture they discovered was unpleasant. Some spread batches were sent without the appropriate vacuum seals. There were some underfilled jars. A few labels were misplaced or crumpled. A few tea mixes seemed hurried. A few ornamental blooms arrived damaged or discolored. And several of the candles actually did not have wicks. Quality control had not faltered. It had fallen apart. Meghan had spent years promoting herself as someone who pays close attention to details and picks up on the little things that others miss. However, the details were exactly what was betraying her here, where it counted most. In order to fulfill deadlines, factories had hurried. Suppliers took shortcuts, packaging assembly was not supervised, transportation was not sufficiently tracked, and no one wanted to acknowledge how ill-prepared the entire process was. The study concluded with a suggestion that no founder wants to hear: halt production and reevaluate everything. Meghan was devastated to learn that she wasn't experiencing poor luck, was not afflicted by negativity, it wasn't being unfairly criticized. Its own foundation was causing it pain.
There's literally nothing. There's nothing to light on the candle. This is like Meghan Markle's career. Failure to launch. Oh my God.
America needs to know she also cannot make candles, because here's what happened when Link ordered one. Taking it out of the box.
There's no wick. Wait, producer Kylie.
Oh my God.
There's no wick, right? Am I crazy? Where's the thing that I like?
It is not a surprise. Meghan Markle is not all that bright at marketing, managing, or brand, or anything.
One unhappy customer has warned, do not buy anything from any company that uses this joke of a company. Another critic said they are ridiculously bad. They're allegedly selling items that they don't have in stock or don't exist at all. So she has chosen to purposefully go with a company that appears to mislead its consumers, mislead its customers.
A foundation that was hurried, uneven, and far less high-end than the company intended consumers to think. However, a larger storm was building outside while Meghan was attempting to process the shock of the interior issues that would completely upend the future of as usual. Retailers are not alarmed. They don't send furious messages, don't start arguments. They just cease to move. Meghan experienced just that as the number of returns increased. Emails that used to arrive fast now took days. Once exciting phone conversations now ended with an ambiguous, "We'll follow up." Plans for a reorder were halted. Potential partners' interest vanished overnight. Retailers were no longer refusing customers. They were just staying away from it. Avoidance is also much riskier. The same thing was observed by every retailer. A brand with uneven quality, growing refunds, and exorbitant costs. No retailer wants to take a chance on it. That is not what any retailer wants on their shelves. Defective returns are something that no retailer wants to deal with. They saw it as a risk because it wasn't a premium brand. Additionally, risks are handled discreetly, properly, and silently. Meghan sensed the change right away. Their voices were hesitant and she could hear it. Every email had a message that she could read between the lines. Long before anyone acknowledged it, she could feel the distance. This was more than a launch gone awry. This launch was being shelved. Labeling is only one aspect of branding. It's a tale. When minimalism isn't done flawlessly, it becomes cheap instead of elegant. That's just how much of A's ever appeared in person. There was no texture to the labels. There was no weight in the jars. The tissues appeared to be flat. The printed words seemed more self-serving and less poetic. Refinement was not seen by the public. They failed to see the craftsmanship. They didn't observe superior quality. They observed something making a great effort to appear pricey, but failing to provide anything to support the cost. This is the harsh reality of customer returns. Seldom does the goods within get a fair chance when the packaging fails. $36 spread that appears to belong on a cheap rack is not something anyone wants to defend. No one wants to defend a $64 candle that is delivered in an unfinished state. The product was not improved by the branding. It made it visible. Additionally, the return wave intensified after consumers saw the mismatch between the price and the aesthetics. However, the object that became the focal point of the entire collapse was the source of Meghan's true disgrace, from which she is still unable to recover. Every brand failure has a pivotal moment that sums up its entire demise. As usual, it wasn't the faulty labels, the withered flowers, or the runny spreads. The candle was the culprit. The item Meghan thought would serve as the focal point of the overall aesthetic and anchor the luxury image arrived in several homes without the wick, which is the essential part of a candle. A wickless candle is embarrassing in addition to being flawed.
$64. I paid $64 for a candle you can't light. And
it shows her entire attitude to the people who are going to keep her in business, and it's so wrong.
Hey, our new Martha Stewart doesn't know how to use kitchen utensils, but America needs to know she also cannot make candles.
But it's not a surprise. Meghan Markle is not all that bright at marketing, managing, or brand, or anything.
So, oh my gosh, I work so hard, and I appreciate what hard work looks like. I like working hard.
A crooked label can be explained away. A somewhat runny spread can be justified. When flowers seem boring, you can claim that they are natural. The wickless candle went from being a private source of embarrassment to an unstated representation of the brand's instability, despite their disclosure that you cannot explain a candle that cannot burn. Emergency emails, supplier audits, and frantic calls to manufacturers that now had to acknowledge what they had never disclosed to the brand were all prompted by the finding within Meghan's team. Before being shipped, certain batches were not carefully examined. Worst thing is that a wickless candle doesn't appear opulent. It appears irresponsible. It provided buyers with all the information they required. The brand wasn't prepared for the grandeur it was marketing. Consumers weren't just let down. They were rejecting the brand's entire concept. There was more than one product. There was more than one batch. It wasn't a single error. It was the whole thing. For Meghan, this meant accepting something even more awful. Because they didn't like her personally, people weren't returning the goods. Because the brand failed to live up to its promise, they were returning them. The products lack the workmanship that consumers anticipate when they pay premium pricing, despite the serene hues and motivational themes. And that truth could not be covered by any branding or narrative. Meghan felt the emotional burden of each faulty shipment since she had committed so much of her identity to this lifestyle return. Every request for a refund and every retail partnership that was quietly terminated. The lifestyle market has a harsh reality. Fantasy loyalty can be marketed. Whether it succeeds or fails is up to the consumer. Customers also made their own decisions. Return boxes continued to arrive with a lot of space for disappointment. Some had half-used products, while others had not been used at all. Packing for some returned goods was meticulously rebuilt, as though the customers were ashamed of how poorly the products lived up to their expectations. A few clients submitted brief comments outlining their reasons for returning everything. Simple facts regarding value, quality, and the sense of disappointment, not insults or assaults. The most notable aspect is that not many people expressed dissatisfaction with the idea. The execution was the subject of their complaints. Concept appealed to me. It was an exciting promise. At first sight, the visual was appealing, but as usual, it was unable to carry the weight of the narrative it was attempting to convey, and it was impossible to deny that reality because of the returns. Meghan's group attempted to spin it. They made an effort to soften the message. They attempted to restore the dignity of the brand. However, reality was indisputable. It didn't crumble due to outside noise as usual. The most significant individuals, the paying clients, left, which is why it fell apart. Everyone is waiting to see what she does next. However, one thing is for sure, product that doesn't match its price cannot be fixed by branding. Furthermore, no living ideal can withstand a wave of returns this enormous. This was more than a setback. It served as a reminder that opulence isn't declared. Luxurious living is earned. What Meghan Markle learns from the demise of the company she thought would be her legacy will determine her future rather than her name.